You got a swimming pool? What the hell?
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Oh, 7, and welcome back to the channel. First off, how did you like the intro? Personally, I thought it was really cool. If you'd like to see how it was made, it was done by a member of our community called The Architect. He's done a video of behind the scenes, so if you want to see how it was made, it's on his channel. If you could do me a favor and go and give him some views and give him some subs, that would be fantastic. Architect, thank you, dude. I really do appreciate it. The fact it took you 3 days and you still refused money on multiple occasions despite me asking, thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm also grateful to you lot. The support you've given me has been outstanding. The channel has basically doubled in around about a week. Quite how I've managed to pass 1,000 subscribers is beyond me. However, I have. So, again, from me to you, thank you. Right, anyway, enough of me. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so I've rewritten this video about 3 times now. Not for any other reason other than I wanted to do both the game and the community justice. So strap yourselves in, because I think this is going to be a long one. I might even have to split it into 2 parts. I won't know until I get into the editing phase. I had thought I might do a here's what I did on day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. But honestly, I haven't achieved that much at all from an in-game perspective. Now that's not to say I haven't done anything. I've done a lot. But it all kind of meshes into one, really. So let me explain before I begin. The community in this game are so freaking kind and nice that I'm always being shown something. Please do not take that the wrong way. It's awesome, but it means I've not done much in the way of missions, because I've been getting shown ships and planets and cool sights, etc., and having a laugh and interacting with the community members and YouTubers and my own viewers and subscribers, and beginning to plan out events and forming our little community on Discord, and responding to the insane amount of comments on this channel, and watching the channel basically double in size in less than a week. It didn't leave me much time for doing missions, etc. Now all this sounds like I haven't done much, but I have, and what a week it's been. My initial plan, as I said, was to do a day 1, day 2, day 3, etc., but that would not do the game, and more importantly, the community, any justice at all. So I thought I would change tack and go with my thoughts on elements of the game after week 1 and hope that it lives up to what people are expecting. I did have the same idea as Kate early on, however I didn't have time to actually do the videos, and now I'm glad I didn't have the chance to do the videos because Kate is doing such a good job that honestly I couldn't do it better at all. She's bringing way more eyes to the game than I ever could, so it all worked out for the best in the end. So let me take you back a long way. Back to around 1990, 1992 era. I was a 10-year-old boy with a mullet and NHS glasses. Boy, I looked good. A boy who bought the Universe magazine every fortnight without fail. I had a passion for space, nebula, galaxies. And ever since that period, I've always been the same. I always get a wibble in my stomach every time I think about the sheer size of a planet like Jupiter, and how huge it is and how small we are in comparison, and how insignificant we feel with it. So have I found a game that matches that feeling? So when starting the game, I knew certain things about it. I knew I didn't like the pricing structure. I knew it had been in alpha for a long time. I knew to expect bugs, a lot of bugs. I also knew that performance was an issue. But I'd also heard so many good things as well. And I knew that there was passion for this game that very few games managed to achieve. So did I get what I was expecting? Oh yes, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my thoughts after my first week in Star Citizen. So when I first started the game, I thought I would try and follow Hawks Gaming's best start guide. I knew it was out of date as it was a video from 2020, and knowing this was in alpha, the likelihood of it still being relevant was slim. But darn it, mining looked so cool I was doing it anyway. So I made my way to the cave, coming way too hot and crash and burn. I try again. This time I do the same. Okay, I need to rethink this. Next time is a charm. It's nighttime on the 3rd time still, but this time I make it, and I land my ship. Success, I thought. Well, I couldn't find my way into the cave, and I fell to my death. Twice. Ever the stubborn person I am, I go again. This time, it's daytime. I start to land, but there's a storm. My ship's blowing all over the place due to high winds. I end up touching down a little bit of a distance away from the cave, bear in mind I'm new. And as soon as I touch down, 30k disconnect. At this point, I'm starting to think if I should even just give up. But I go again. This time I land and I make it to the cave. Feeling all good and chipper about myself. I begin to mine. And it's just as good as it looks in Hawk's video. It really is. I mine one ore, then a second, and I start my third. And then I get shot and killed. At this point, it's a bit too much, and I log off and take a break. That was my honest intro into Star Citizen. However, I'm glad I stuck with it, because I've now been rewarded tenfold. My persistence, get it? For those Star Citizen players, you'll get that, is starting to pay off. I am being rewarded with a fantastic game. Okay, so first I want to discuss the community. I have stepped into a game with simply the most amazing community, and that is not an exaggeration. The in-game chat is always flowing, it's not toxic, so you will always find someone to help and have someone to speak to. And they're always helpful, they're always willing to lend a hand when needed. There's always people looking for multi-crew or for joint missions. It seems like a game that's really easy to make in-game friends with. But let me regale you of a tale of how I found out just how cool this community was. I'd used my brother's account, as I've said on the channel before, but I never really played it much. I just kind of flew around and logged out. That was it. And by the way, Josh, I'm sorry. I think I might have blown up your caterpillar, dude. Sorry. But I logged back in after that mining ordeal, only to find that the game had deleted my hand mining tool and I had no credits to buy another. Which I found really frustrating, I'm not going to lie, and I was kind of thinking, what's the point? But again, I really wanted to persist with it. So I asked in chat if there was a ticket option I could open, to find that a very kind player had actually just sent me 50,000 Alpha UEC in-game. This kind player was called Muckenschwarm. I'm sorry if I've murdered that name. I've pronounced it as best I can. I spoke with him for a while, and he and another player, Jared, were giving me loads of advice and being really helpful and really nice in chat. Meanwhile, at this point, Mukesh Farm had offered to buy me a ship if I decided to get my own account, to save me real-life money, as I was thinking of getting at least an Avenger Titan if I started the game. And I knew that I had an inkling to start it, because even though I'd been put off with the bugs and everything, I could tell there was something about it. So it was at this point I decided that it was probably best to buy my own account, just in case Josh wanted to take his account back at some point. He couldn't confirm or deny whether he wanted it back at some point or not, so we both figured it was best just to buy my account. Please bear in mind that these people had no idea that I do YouTube. I'm not that big a channel, so they don't know my name. And as far as they were concerned, I was just another Elite Dangerous refugee. And during this time, another player, I'm sorry, I forget your name, I believe it begins with a B. If you see this, I really do apologise and thank you very much. But this player flew to Everest Harbour just to lead me around, to buy a new mining attachment and a new mining tool and a new suit with a 50k that I'd been given, because I had no idea how to find it. Now this was happening while I was speaking to the others, but I still feel it's relevant to the story, as it highlights the kindness of another player. They took time out of their day for no other reason than to just be a nice person and help a newbie out. That is a sort of community we have in Star Citizen. Anyway, I spoke to Mukesh Farm for at least an hour on voice comms after this, and he showed me around, gave me loads of information, gave me loads of advice, gave me the credits to buy the Cutlass Black and an ROC land mining vehicle, because he gathered from our conversation that I liked mining, so that's why we decided to go that way with the ship and with the rock. And he led me to where I needed to buy it. We also looked around a Constellation in New Deal, which was awesome. Check this out.
It is. It's just not as versatile. Like, you can just fight. That's not bad.
Holy crap. Detail on this one.
Yeah, that's the Constellation Phoenix. Quite luxurious. You can go inside if you want.
Can you?
There is a jacuzzi, because why not?
Oh, every spaceship needs to have a jacuzzi.
There's a little snub fighter here.
Oh yeah.
And they actually finally managed to make this thing work, and you can dock this back to your ship. lot of it while you're flying in space. And that works now, which is really cool.
Nice. Anyway, after we looked around this awesome ship, we then took my Drake Cutlass for its maiden voyage. It was so cool and so nice to have a co-pilot in the seat as well, and I believe this is the first time he co-piloted at least the Drake Cutlass anyway. So Mookish Farm, I know you'll see this, mate, because I know you're part of the community now. I wanted to take the time to say thank you. You made my start to the game so much nicer. Not through the credits that you gave me, just the utterly warm welcome and the advice you gave me at the start, and the advice you continue to give me. The biggest of 07s to you, sir. And Jared, I'm not forgetting you either, mate. You've been super cool with me on more than one occasion now, and now you've also joined the Discord and become part of the community. So for that, I also thank you as well, 07. I look forward to playing with both of you in the future. I've been so lucky to have had players that I don't even know show me around their ships and let me fly them on the odd occasion for no other reason than just being nice and because they're proud of the game. Some know who I am, most have no idea. As you know, I have a Discord. This is not a shameless plug, but if you do want to join it, the link is in the description. But the Star Citizen guys that have joined are amongst some of the most active on there now. And I cannot speak highly enough here. At no point, and I do mean no point in the verse, have I ever felt alone. There's always someone willing to help, either in my Discord or in the in-game chat. I was worried about being an Elite Dangerous player and how I would be received when I came over. Especially if people knew me from me bashing the game that I love over in Elite Dangerous, and they'll have seen that and wonder what I actually would say about their game, or our game now. But I had nothing to fear at all. At no point has anyone from the Star Citizen community been even slightly toxic towards me, or even said boo to me. I haven't been griefed, I haven't been ganked, although I fear I'm probably quite lucky with that one, I'm not being ganked. And in fact, it's been the complete opposite. I've been made to feel so welcome that I already feel part of the community. That is how awesome this community is. So Star Citizen community, thank you very much for just being great. You guys are fantastic. Okay, let me talk about the gameplay in general. The gameplay loops are not all in, I think we all know that already, but the ones that are in are fun, at least to me anyway. I love the mining minigame that we have. It's different than Elite's enough to be interesting. We have a little minigame of apply enough power to the laser to do the mining, but not enough to blow the rock up. And it's random each time from what I can see. It depends on the resistance of the rock, etc. You have a little green optimal area that needs to fill up to crack the rock, and a red overcharged area which you need to stay out of or risk blowing the rock up and potentially killing yourself. You then have to switch to collection mode and hoover them all up, which is quite cool as well. It's nothing major, but it makes it so it's not a mindless click and deploy your limpets grind fest. It's engaging enough that you can't simply AFK, but not intense enough that you cannot throw Netflix on in the background while you do it. Don't get me wrong, I love the mining in Elite as well. I was having this conversation just the other day, where I do the laser mining or deep core mining, whichever, but I generally will just go into third person once the limpets are out and just enjoy the views. It's just more engaging and more rewarding in Star Citizen. Though, I'm not going to lie, nothing beats this. Now, I am only talking about land mining here. I'm yet to try space mining, but I have had offers to go out and multi-crew space mine, and that sounds very exciting, and I will be taking those offers up in the future, so I'll be able to comment a bit more about it going forward. Add to the fact that you have a little buggy thing to drive on and off your ship when you're doing land mining, it's just a rewarding experience. On the right planets, it's also atmospheric as all hell, and adds to the gameplay loop. You have to consider where you're landing to mine, as you have a ramp to consider. Do you have room to drop the ramp? If so, will it touch the ground? Is there room to get the rock off the back of the ship? It all adds to the experience. So bounty hunting missions are okay, pretty standard, go here, find this person and well, blow his space ass up. Nothing innovative really at the moment. You have low level targets which are easy, you have harder ones which are not so easy. It is what it is. I'd like to see them do more with it in the future, but given how CIG are approaching this game, I am more than confident that they will flesh this out as well. Where they'll go with it, I don't know, but I would imagine they're going to do something innovative with it in the future. Now, I'd like to address the FPS combat. I said for Odyssey, as some of you will be more than aware, that I felt it had no place, and I stand by that for Odyssey. So how do I feel about it in Star Citizen? Well, it works. It's not a major aspect of the game at present, but it exists if you want to do it. And I would imagine it's probably quite fun in multi-crew as well, like if you did it on a bigger scale. I went into a cave with Burb on day 2 or day 3, and we had to clear the cave of unwanted guests. The FPS gameplay felt smooth, the weapon play was basic but functional. The enemies weren't bullet sponges, but they didn't fall over either. They were smart enough to dodge and move, but also dumb enough that it wasn't really that much of an issue. It just kind of worked. Again, not innovative, but cool enough. Having to work your way through the cave to find them added suspense and tension, at least for me being a newbie. It just felt really atmospheric. Now here's the interesting part, at least for me. It fits. It doesn't feel like it's just been shoehorned into the game. It feels like a natural aspect of it. It has a flow to it, unlike in Odyssey, where it feels like it's just too much of the game added after years of it not being there at all, and taking the space game to more ground-based. Here, it just works. Maybe this is because I'm coming at the game now when it's already present, and possibly people going to ED in the future who go straight to Odyssey will maybe feel the same way then as well. But it's how I feel now. There are other mission types as well, like box delivery missions, which is as it sounds. You're basically a space DPD delivery person. But it has a function also. It teaches you the basics of flight. It teaches you the kind of cool things that you can do where you can interact with things around you, pick up boxes, store them on your ship, or do what Kate did, store them on your bed. That was pretty darn cool. But it lets you tour the moons, etc. So it all has a function. Everything here has a purpose. So overall, what I've seen of the gameplay stuff so far, I'm happy with it. Okay, let's discuss planets and the system itself. Planets, honestly, are one of the strongest elements of this game. They are magnificently beautiful. Just being on them is a gameplay experience in itself. Star Citizen may not have 400 billion star systems like Elite Dangerous. In fact, it only has one, Stanton. And yes, I did take the mick out of that in my first guide video for Elite Dangerous.
It was both tragic and hysterical.
One of the biggest games in the world. Like, actually, it has 400 billion star systems and over 1 trillion planets. And they're adding more in Odyssey. Suck it, Star Citizen. But the joke is on me. There's more going on here in this one system than in any system in Elite Dangerous. To me, it feels like it's more than one system. The travel times between each planet area can actually be quite long, making it feel like a different system altogether. I did worry coming into this from Elite Dangerous that I might feel somewhat claustrophobic of sorts, but I don't. It has so much distance and so much detail and so much variation that so far it hasn't bothered me at all. I am, however, excited to see how things play out with jump points and pyro and see how things go going forward, but so far, not claustrophobic in the slightest. The planets here are all unique, they have their own atmospheres, they even have their own environments, they have plants, trees, shrubs, storms. Dust particles, God rays through the storms, caves, as well as their own little gameplay elements, literally elements. If you go into cold parts of Microtech, for example, you'll need a specific cold suit, otherwise you're going to die after a certain period of time. But on Aerial, you need a heat suit, otherwise you're going to overheat and die after a certain period of time. Hell, on Hurston, you can just have your helmet off. There are extremely hot planets and extremely cold planets and everything in between. The list, honestly, just goes on. As a space sim player, the attention to detail in every single part of this game is mind-blowing, and the planets are no exception. And after ship interiors, for me, the planets are the biggest draw away from Elite Dangerous. The work they have done on them is simply incredible. We have forests, savannas, frozen wastelands, lovely mountainous ranges that sprawl for miles, sandstorms, snowstorms, any other sort of storms, gorgeous sunsets. Honestly, I could gush for hours. In comparison to Elite Dangerous planets, even with the new tech, there is no competition here. Star Citizen is second to absolutely none when it comes to their planet tech. And I'm sorry if this offends my Elite Dangerous brethren, but I'm just being truthful. I have no brand loyalty here. I have no loyalty to Elite Dangerous. I have no loyalty to Star Citizen. I have a loyalty to good games, and I have a loyalty to my viewers and my subscribers. That is it. So I think you can tell, I'm a little bit impressed. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about grind. As an Elite Dangerous player, grind has just become part and parcel of play. In Star Citizen, there's only one grind that really matters, and that is Alpha UEC, in-game credits. The other major grind would be for merits, and that is entirely optional. Merits are used to get you out of prison when you've been a naughty little citizen. There technically is a rep grind, but as it stands, this is just to unlock better payouts, etc., and it's achieved by simply playing the game. It's done in a very clever way, where the more missions you do for someone, the more rep you get with them. And if you start doing missions for their competitor, you start losing rep with them. I cannot tell you how refreshing this is. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a bit of grind. As an MMO player for the last 17 years, I'm kind of just used to grind, but to not have it is so nice. I do missions, I make credits. It's a simple concept, it'll never catch on. Oh, now let's discuss the ships. And I can do it in one word. Wow. Okay, segment over. Let's move on. Joking. As if I would do you like that. I got clips and everything to show you for this one, so strap in. I've been in awe at the sheer beauty and ambition in this game. I think that's very evident by now. And that holds just as much, even with the ships. Some of these ships are a true work of art. Seeing Burb's Prowler was a memory I doubt I'll forget from this game. That ship is simply the most detailed ship I've ever seen in a space game. Here's a couple of clips of my initial reaction. Hey, this looks awesome! But this ship looks incredible. Actually, the jump animation is different, the warp animation is different as well.
Yeah. Okay, you can see it.
Okay, you're gonna need to DM me the name of the ship because I've already forgotten it, but it looks... Prowler, that's it. Wow. And then add in my walk around Frogger's Constellation Andromeda, which was fantastic. Almost as good as a spacewalk to get to it. Check this out. Right, exit left. Right, let's go out.
There you go.
Oh,
So try going forward.
oh, there I am. Oh, wow.
There you go.
Right, where am I going for your cargo hatch? Is it down underneath? Cargo bay at the back.
I'm actually at the elevator. You could go for the cargo bay or the elevator that I'm standing at. Whatever is easier for you.
This is insane.
Be careful when you land, by the way. Like when you land on the elevator, because if you're upside down right now, you're gonna break your head like that.
All right, okay.
There you go.
Turn around and then go.
There you go.
Holy crap.
That is amazing.
Elevator up. So we're gonna go inside the ship.
That is insane. You look like one of the sand smugglers from Star Wars, by the way.
Oh yeah. So this is the habitation space in this ship, and then here is the cargo bay. The cargo bay is kind of cool in this ship.
Nice.
Let me just close this up. There we go. And
I'm so jealous of Star
I'm gonna need to get farming some credits, I really am.
then walk around the back and check this out. Over here, this is really funny. You're gonna see a funny glitch, and this is there's actually a fighter over here, but it spawned somehow sideways.
Oh.
As opposed to being, normally it should be aligned so it's docked there, and you could get in it and actually undock and fly around, just like the fighters. But this one spawned sideways in the ship, so.
Have you got the ship as well, Kenzo?
Yes, it works for me all the time. But I have a different variant. This is a normal Andromeda, I think, and I have
Yeah.
the.
Oh, okay.
This
I went to try and dock a hammerhead earlier. I had no idea what I was doing, so I just logged out. One of the guys, Alex from the Discord, basically logged out and left me in his hammerhead. So I was like, well, I may as well fly you.
have a seat and take it for a spin.
No way, you can drive other people's spaceships as well.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to be in the spaceship for me to fly it, apparently.
That's right.
The
Because you love interior so much, I wanted to show you my kitchen.
Oh, dude, definitely, yeah. Oh god. Okay, this is fast.
Don't destroy your ship.
This is fast. Wow, the acceleration on this is crazy. And now we have Kenzo's 890J, which is aptly called Revelation, with 2 L's as a play on revelation and revel, to revel at its beauty. Wow, what a ship. The 890J to me is out of this world, spank me on my ass fantastic. Kenzo spent over an hour showing Frogger and myself around his ship, as he wanted us to just take it all in. And for that, Kenzo, I want to thank you. That was really cool of you, very nice of you, and just a really cool night. This was the ship that made me want to try Star Citizen. And here's my initial reactions to that.
You're bringing the 890. That's a massive.
No way.
That's beautiful.
Oh, I am in.
This ship is huge, by the way, Dave. You're gonna be amazed.
This is my end. This is my end goal, by the way.
The 890.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I want this ship. This is this is like the beauty of the cutter mixed with the anaconda. Okay, this is wow.
Here.
No.
Look at that. It's a one-way mirror.
Oh, you can see me from there, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you can, yeah. Look at the aquarium. What the hell?
That's where the pool is.
What
Keep
is
going straight.
this? Oh my lord! Now let's address the big issue that we all know is coming given my Elite Dangerous background, ship interiors. What are my thoughts now? Well, spoiler alert, I think that's kind of clear already. However, this game has made me realise just how much I love them. I didn't realise I needed them in my life until experiencing them for the first time here. It adds so much to the gameplay experience as a player that I struggle to formulate the words just how cool it actually is. The level of detail that CIG have put into these is insane. It really is, and me talking about it simply just doesn't do it justice. I will be doing a video of my tour around the 890J, as well as some others, so you'll see what I'm talking about if you haven't seen these before or if you don't play the game. But it doesn't stop there. Certain things in this game are only possible because of ship interiors. Like the fact that you can hide yourself in the cargo area of a ship and wait for it to take off and get into space and just blow the captain's brains out and steal the ship. You can borrow ships from friends and fly them around. You have weapon racks that are functional. You have chamber areas to log out in, multiple ones depending on the ship. You have bathrooms, swimming pools, jacuzzis, kitchens, bedrooms, one-way glass. There is so much here that I am missing out, haven't seen, or I just don't even know about yet. Seriously, CIG, great work. I also like how each manufacturer of ship or each individual ship itself has different UIs and different colour schemes, and the fact that that colour scheme affects everything. So all your markers, your quantum indicators, everything is all affected by the colour of your UI. The attention to detail, as I've said before, is brilliant, and I love the ships in this game. Coming from Elite Dangerous to Star Citizen feels weird when it comes to flight at first. The flight in Elite is definitely one of its strong points, and to start with Star Citizen didn't feel like it even came close. However, after a few days I started to find myself really liking the flight more and more. The way that the ship feels when you're in space is very different than how it feels when you're in atmosphere. You have atmosphere drag, etc. It's responsive, you have a vector indicator to show you where you're headed. For example, check out this clip here, where I use the marker to determine if I'm going to clear the top of a mountain or not. It is so useful. You have a speed limiter you can use, which is way handier than you would think, as you can use this when coming into land to make sure that you don't overshoot or crash your ship or anything, or like I did the other night. When you're following someone, you can make sure to not suddenly accelerate and visit the inside of their cargo bay with your canopy. You have a maximum maneuverability indicator, which is not as forgiving as Elite Dangerous. You get a little line, if you cross it, it becomes harder and harder to recover the further over it you go. Air and space brakes will help you with this for sure, but it has led to some interesting moments, shall we say. I'm yet to go into decoupled mode properly, which for those Elite Dangerous commanders out there is flight assist off. As my HOTAS was being a bit funny, and I've literally just taken delivery of my second stick, so I intend to try dual stick. So I can't comment on decoupled mode, however Black Maze did cover this in one of his recent videos, and he did it very, very well. Overall, I'd have to say though, that the more I'm getting used to it, the more I'm really enjoying the flight in game now. Now, it's not all sweetness and like. It is an alpha after all, but even given that fact, I'm not salty in the slightest. The servers for the most part have been fine, but since the 3.14 patch hit the PTU, they've struggled a little bit more, and sometimes you do get issues. I've had it where I cannot pick things up, where my torch won't turn on, where my mining attachment won't mine, where my mining attachment won't collect my ore, where I fall over for absolutely no reason, which is often just hilarious. However, the funniest is this. I have issues sometimes where I cannot quantum travel and have to turn away and turn back again. But one time, and it happened twice in a row though, I quantumed to the surface area to find myself in the planet. I was dropping altitude even though I was facing 90 degrees up, when wham! Wham! Smashed straight into the ground and blew up my ship. When I finally did get to land on aerial to go mining, I landed at the station to call my rock and load it into the cutty. I opened the cargo door and proceed to walk down the ramp to go and do this process, only to flop over like a ragdoll and die then and there on the spot, sending me all the way back to the station for the third time. All I could do was laugh. Not all bugs are bad though. The cutlass and rock that I bought, it gave me duplicates, which is actually really useful, especially the duplicate cutlass. If I have to claim one and one's there, I just claim it and then back out and then just have my other one delivered to the station. That's a nice little bug to have. Please keep that one in. You will notice my attitude towards bugs in this game is a little bit different than it is for Elite Dangerous Odyssey. That's because I knowingly bought an alpha. I didn't buy a full release that turned out to be an alpha. I purchased the game knowing it was an alpha. That's the difference. So let's wrap up with my final thoughts. Overall, as you can probably tell, I am loving this game and it ticks so many boxes for me, it's crazy. I'm glad I didn't listen to all the scam citizen and tech demo rubbish. In this game, I see vision, and I see passion and ambition, and I can feel the passion from the community. I can see the improvements as I've watched Star Citizen for a while from afar. I can see where the time and money is being spent. Now, I'm not going to go into the pricing structure in this video, as I'd like to cover that in another video, I think. This video is purely about my first week and my thoughts after it. So in 1 week, I've gone from not sure if I will like it to not wanting to put it down. I've gone from not knowing if I trust in the project completely to realizing this could single-handedly be one of the best and most detailed games ever made. I've gone from should I cover this on my channel and did I make the right decision to move away from being full ED channel to why have I waited this long? Will I throw money at it? No, I don't think so. I bought my starter ship, which I probably will upgrade in the future if there's a wipe, but only to either a Nomad or a Cutlass Black, and that's me done. Alpha UEC for everything else. What ship would I recommend for starting? Well, if I may be so brazen to recommend anything being this new, I would say the Aurora if you have friends to help you out with credits in-game, and if not, then it depends on your budget. For me, if you can stretch to it, I would say the Avenger Titan is a very, very good starter. It has a small cargo bay, which I believe is 8 SCU, so you could do a little bit of cargo hauling, and it could do early game bounties and combat as well. Not to mention, it looks gorgeous. Now, if you want to go bigger, and if you have the budget to do this, then either the Nomad or the Cutlass Black would be the go-to, because as I said earlier, you can get a rock, and you can hire a rock after a wipe, and then just go surface mining to make Alpha UEC a lot faster. So that would give you the fastest credits back after a possible wipe. Now, if you buy a ship in the store or your starter pack, when the game does finally release, you get that ship as well. So it's not a case of you getting it just for the alpha. So, would I recommend this game to you? Now, I have to be careful here, as I'm aware that this channel is growing and my views are starting to carry some weight with some people. But personally for me, I'd say yes, I do recommend the game. But with a few caveats. First of all, you have to be aware that the fact it is an alpha, it is going to have a lot of bugs, and there's not a huge amount of content to do in the game at the minute. But what is there is absolutely beautiful. Another caveat would be only if you can afford to pay for it. If this is the difference between a finished game or this, or you're the sort of person who just doesn't like bugs even if just an alpha, then it would have to be a no. This game probably isn't for you. And the reason why I say if you could afford it is because it's an alpha, you might not even like it. However, if you can pay for it and don't mind the risk of putting money into an alpha for a game that you're not sure about, you will be rewarded with such a great and stunningly beautiful game that has an amazing community. So there we have it, folks. My first week in the verse, and my lord am I in love. I have butterflies in my stomach every time I log in to play, or every time I even think about playing. I'm sat here recording this video now with my second joystick just looking at me, begging me to get into game. I have the same feeling that I had for Elite Dangerous Horizons. I don't just like it, I love it. So, until next time, you amazing bunch of people, I have been Just Dave, asking you all to be good. And if you can't be good, be dangerous.